in my own division this time at black belt, and I broke a rib on Thursday, I think it was, and sorry, Wednesday. So I want to do more competition this year. Before I was more focusing on teaching. I really wanted to make sure that my teaching was right for the students. They got the ideas, and it wasn't kind of just another jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah.
Now I kind of done that. I have some really good students who assist me with the training. Now it's time for me to kind of start to compete again. I'm old now anyway, so it's kind of, it'll be a hard task, but you know I like to try it and see.
You're doing it for you, so
exactly, it's for fun, you know.
And how much time do you say you can manage to squeeze of training for you per week?
For very little, very limited. I'm here every day. I teach every day. We have classes all day. I have an MMA team who need looking after. I have a jiu-jitsu team who need looking after, and then I have to squeeze my family life and then jiu-jitsu. So who knows? You know, sometimes you have to be selfish. They used to tell me you have to be selfish, and Hoyle told me, man, you can't be a good fighter and a good teacher. It's impossible. And I used to kind of laugh and say, man, you can't, you really cannot. You know? And so I need to kind of figure that side out of it as well.
Well, welcome to the part-time grappler lifestyle. How many children do you have?
At the moment, one. And you know, so she's awesome. She's my life. She's 18 months. She has the gi. She's on the mat. Man, listen, I try and teach her the same principles and morals from that age. And then when she grows up, she can decide what she wants to do. I'm not going to force her to compete, but I would like her to at least have the self-defense elements and to share with her what I consider one of the most beautiful things in my life. Apart from her, is to give her the gift that I have, you know, to pass on to her, see how she feels.
Wonderful, absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, my blog is dedicated to helping people who have no aspiration of becoming pro fighters to fit in training around life, studying, working. How do you fit that equation? How do you solve that equation of traveling, working, and your family?
Okay. I used to work shift work, which was mornings, evenings, and daytimes.
Right.
So sometimes I would work night. I never missed a class. I never missed a class of teaching, and I never missed a class of training because of dedication. Because of the onus, if the guys are turning up to see me, I have to be there to see them, you know. So that was the onus that I had to have. I could never not be in a class knowing in my mind that my students are over there. So for me it was slightly different, raised on those principles of Elio Gracie. He was always in the class sick, ill. I mean, I'm having a broken rib now, you saw me teaching the class today. It's something that I guess is a gift and a curse, you know? So you have to make it fit for which one is yours. But for the part-time grapplers, the guys that work, do as much as you can. That's all you can do, you know? Anything more to balance it with family life and other commitments in 2010, especially with the economic crisis, is insane. But if you can, hell, buy some mats and train with your friends when you can at home too. Yeah. It's the other way around.
Brilliant. I usually ask people to give me 5 pointers that would help them fit. So the mats is one thing, doing as much as you can, maybe that's another point.
Doing as much as you can is kind of up in the air, but the mats, definitely.
Yeah.
The thing is, jiu-jitsu, you don't need anything. You know, I tell my guys, write down the positions that you can think of. Think of half guard and write all the positions you know in the half guard. Then write down the defenses, and you can do this sitting on the bus going to work. The attacks. You know, you write them down and slowly you build better pictures of them. Rather than you just sit there and think about it, actually write down what you know and pass in the guard, all the details. This really helped me as a teacher. I'd go home and write all the details of how do I pass the guard, the old school, arm inside, what elements are needed. And I realised that even when I was teaching, sometimes an element would be missing. Once I start to do that, change the whole game, change everything.
That's a great tip.
Mm.
To balance that, can you think of any things, any usual suspects when it comes to wasting time?
The pub.
The pub.
That's what people. I mean, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. That's just not because of any religious beliefs or anything, and I'm not a kind of, you know, trying to embody the spirit of grace, but it's kind of negative for the body. You know, it's so hard, as you probably know. I'll bet you kind of hip escape to get out of bed in the morning to, you know, that's when you have that bug, you know, and it's not something you can pick up and put down. So the bad habits that come with it are, you can lose family time. Yeah, sometimes, you know, we have 2-hour classes, we're here till midnight sometimes sparring. You know? I try to stay away from bad habits as much as I can. To find the equilibrium, the balance, I say would be my family time. When I commit to my family, I'm 100% dedicated to them. I won't stray from the family kind of time that I have.
I must say something I've noticed, that a lot of time people waste time because they haven't committed it to something.
Exactly.
And if you make the commitment, like you said, use your bus time to know it. Use your family time to really be your family time.
The only way you can progress in this art is on the mat. Mat time. There's no other way. You can sit there and believe you're the best grappler in the world. When you go on the mat and a white belt, you know, whoops your ass, then you think, oh, well, I'm not as good as I actually thought. I don't believe for 1 minute that I'm very good. I believe that I have very good teachers along the way, and I believe that I know about jiu-jitsu, but in a small amount. You know, maybe not saying I'm not good is not the right idea, but I have a concept of jiu-jitsu. Once I received the black belt, I really started to understand. That was the learning point for me. Beyond that was kind of the preparation. Once I received the black belt and the responsibility came something totally different. You know? I owe all of you guys, anyone who puts the gi on, I owe something to, whether they attend my class or they're just anywhere. I owe something to. I owe, maybe if they have a question, I owe them the answer. Just for the mere fact they wear the gi, you know. So it's kind of, I have a very different outlook than most people on jiu-jitsu. And if we could do this for free, I believe it should be in a curriculum in schools. I believe just because of the philosophy that it gives you, that we're not going to break each other's face, you know, that we don't have to be an ugly guy